Long-term viewers know that I enjoy a calm and relaxing, but also head-scratching puzzle game. And I know quite a few of you lot do too. So that's why today's review is Tiny Traffic, an isometric puzzle game available on PC, and it was made by a solo developer, so yes, big up the solo devs! Tiny Traffic sees you with 1, 2 or 3 cars per level, and the idea is that every time you press play, all the cars move forward 1 square directly in front of where they're headed. The idea is to get those cars into the checkered flag squares that are dotted around the different levels, and you do this by manipulating the world around you with the turns that are in each level. Now, down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that you have various different arrows that will either shift the whole block, like forward, backwards, left or right, or twist the block in its own square that it's currently in, so that it will send the turn in a different direction. This is all key because the cars are always set up to never reach their destination at all, or they're set up to smash into each other, or to arrive at the same point kind of later on down the road where you've only got a certain amount of arrows to make, so you have to kind of send one the long way rather than having it both taking the shortcut. And the levels are tight and compact, but they're really well thought out and designed. What I really liked about Tiny Traffic as well is that the levels give you various options for like tripping yourself up, but you can be quite methodical through them because you see everything that you need to tackle in front of you, and because you have that limited move set across the bottom, it starts to narrow down your choices a little bit so that you don't kind of get lost in I don't always know where to go next. Did that mean that I didn't get stuck? Absolutely not. As soon as I hit chapter 2, and there's 45 levels in total, I started really having to have some head scratching moments. And it's because of the sliding around of the different turns. If it was just spinning turns around, then it would be almost a non-game because you're just kind of spinning stuff and it would all kind of make sense. But because you're having to think, right, I'm moving that there and then I can also spin it round at the same time, what you're needing to do is to kind of manipulate a level, move a card forward a square, manipulate the levels, move the cars forward another square. And because it's so tight and compact, you kind of have to mentally play the level like a couple of steps ahead in your mind and then be like, aha! And then you're off and away and then you can get the levels done. And I really like that because it doesn't leave you can't solve the level by chance. You have to understand what you're doing and then mechanically sort it out. And that gives much better satisfaction when you complete the levels themselves. What I would say is don't mistake calm for easy. Tiny Traffic handed my brain back to me several times over, especially late on in chapters. But what I really appreciated is that you could move on to the next chapter without completing every single puzzle in the previous one. And that made me thankful because a couple of the last ones on each chapter kind of made me go, "Arr!" And I was head scratching. So like for the interests of gameplay, I've omitted most of that because you're just watching me going, which is not fun to look at. But what that does mean is that Tiny Traffic gives value for money. For £2, you get several hours of gameplay. Would have appreciated perhaps an undo button as opposed to resetting puzzles, but because the puzzles are quite short, you don't necessarily lose time in that regard. But yeah, head scratcher this one. Written review will be over on highplanegames.com. Until then, you take care. Bye. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/Higher Network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.